Hi, welcome to the GhostFriendz channel. I am Cleo, or some of you may already know me as Pink Matter Games. I am a sort of cozy variety streamer, and I also make content on YouTube. But a little bit about me. I am 27, a Capricorn. I live in the Pacific Northwest, but those are just the basics. 10 facts about me. My lucky number is 13 because my birthday is the 13th and I was born on a Friday. So that leads me into my second fact, which is that I have always been a big fan of horror movies and all kinds of spooky things. I also enjoy anything paranormal or true crime related. And number 3, I also really like to read creepypastas, fandom lore, and any kind of internet mystery type stuff. I'm also working on 2 new projects where I will get to share my passion about these sorts of things and other mildly spooky stuff, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Speaking of reading, my favorite book is Jaws by Peter Benchley, which came out in 1974, a year before the movie. I was really obsessed with the Jaws movie franchise as a kid. Like, back when you got movies from Netflix in the mail, I got all of the different ones, like Jaws 1, 2, and 3D, all of it. So I was really obsessed with the whole franchise, and one summer I found out that it was based on a book, so I immediately checked it out from the library and read it cover to cover, and I've just been so obsessed with it ever since. Speaking of Jaws, sharks are my favorite animal. I have a shark tattoo. I have several shark-related things in my home, a bunch of shark squishmallows, all kinds of sharks, all the shark things, all about it. Number 6, my anniversary is in October, and I planned my own Halloween-themed wedding. It was during the pandemic, so a lot of it was DIY, but I think that almost made it more fun. Number 7, I am also a proud Slytherin and a big Harry Potter fan, even though I know that's still controversial at the moment. I was raised reading the books though, so Harry Potter will definitely always have a special place in my heart, despite JK and all of her nonsense. Number 8, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology as well as minors in anthropology and Native American studies. Number 9, I am also a dog mom. My husband and I have 2 dogs. One is an adult boxer, and the other one is a brand new dachshund puppy named Elvira. Last but not least, number 10, I have 18 tattoos in total, even though most of the time you would never be able to tell because I'm almost always wearing a hoodie. Now, just a little bit about my gaming preferences. My favorite types of games are pretty much any kind of management or life sim, really into RPGs and open world games, but I play all kinds of different games, so it's kind of hard to choose just a couple genres. If there are side quests or tons of items that I can hoard, chances are I will probably enjoy it. I grew up playing on the Nintendo systems, and I'm still really big into retro gaming, but I generally play on the Nintendo Switch or PC. However, my husband is a big PlayStation fan, so we have so many consoles in our house. He has a PlayStation 4 and 5. I rescued my GameCube and Wii and my PlayStation 2 from my parents' basement now that I'm an adult and have my own home. And I also have a collection of older Nintendo handheld consoles, but most of my time is either on the Switch, or if I'm playing with other people, then I'll play on PC. Just kind of depends on what the game is. But I usually play with a controller instead of mouse and keyboard. It just kind of depends. Like if I'm playing Stardew Valley or like Phasmophobia or Forewarned, something that's either like really basic, or if it's, I don't know, it depends on the first person, I guess. But those I'll play with a mouse and keyboard. But like playing Borderlands or Tiny Tina's, like first person shooters, those for whatever reason just like make me really motion sick. But I have learned a few things like adjusting sensitivity and different kinds of settings to make it a little bit easier. But I do, for some things, I do prefer controller for sure. My top 5 games would probably have to definitely include Animal Crossing, just because that's where gaming kind of started for me. Like Animal Crossing on the GameCube was probably the first game that I was like super into or old enough to like actually be good at and want to keep playing the game. Stardew Valley, definitely, just because I have spent so many hours playing that game. I stream it every week. I just learned how to do mods for it, and I think it's just one of those games that has so many little details and things to come across that even though I've put so many hours into it, there's still new stuff that I'm learning and figuring out, or like new special events I get to experience. So that one is definitely in my top 5. Plus, I just think it's fascinating that one guy did all of that by himself. I think that's pretty incredible. Another one that might surprise some of you, but definitely makes my top 5 is Diablo 3. That was kind of the game that like got me back into gaming when I was in college. It's also a game my husband and I really bonded over when we moved into our new apartment a few years ago. We didn't have internet for the longest time, and so we would just watch DVDs on the PlayStation or play old PlayStation 4 games, and I found his disc of Diablo 3 and he didn't even know it still worked. So I started playing, and then we started to co-op together, and that was kind of like our intro to gaming as a couple. So that one's definitely high up there for me. But I had a really hard time coming up with 2 more favorites. So instead, I just want to mention 2 of the games that I've been playing the most recently. The first one is Ooblets, which is just so adorable. It's a farming sim and creature collector, 2 of my favorite things in a game. Plus the dialogue is actually super funny and a little bit sassy, so it kind of brings me back to those like old school Animal Crossing days when everyone wasn't automatically super nice to you. And I think it's just one of those games where like when I'm playing, I have to play the next day. Like as soon as I end, I'm already thinking about like, oh, I gotta do this and I need more resources for this quest and all of that stuff. So it has definitely been one of the 3 in my recent rotation lately. But the other one is probably Disney Dreamlight Valley. I know that's really popping off on Twitter right now and all the other social medias, but I'm on the bandwagon and I'm really enjoying my time. I joked the other day on stream that I have happily sold my soul to Mickey Mouse. I was a really big Disney fan as a kid, and I still kind of am, but I would not consider myself a Disney adult. But playing the game, I don't know what it is about it, but it just makes me feel good. I don't know if it's the nostalgia of like the music, or if Mickey and Goofy like really do make better neighbors than the Animal Crossing NPCs. Who knows, but I've really enjoyed my time in the Valley and will continue to put more and more hours into both Ooblets and Disney Dreamlight Valley. I hope you enjoyed this and feel like you got to know me a little bit better and the rest of the Ghost Friends, and we look forward to seeing you guys later. Bye.